Good morning. I think it's still morning. It's Sunday and it is 25th. Yeah. So, you know how it is when you retire, you lose track of what day it is. Anyway, another adventure into my self therapy here, my ability to vent so I don't have to wrap my head in duct tape to prevent it from exploding. And obviously, in the news lately, it's been all the goings on in primarily Minneapolis, Minnesota, but in other places. Everybody doesn't like ice now. It's who was it? I think it was me and some others said at the time that ice was created. Maybe some of you remember right after 9/11, and we needed to do something about the migrants, illegal and otherwise, who were coming into the country and doing bad deeds, like flying planes into buildings and stuff like that. And so the government, in its infinite wisdom, decided we need another government agency. So we got the Department of Homeland Security, and under that, ICE, and the cost involved in that because nobody else was doing it. So we had to create another agency. And here we are. So I guess the question we have to ask ourselves is, if we are not going to do anything about the problems, if we can't do anything as individuals, then who is? Who's supposed to do that? Do we have law enforcement in this country? We have police departments and sheriff departments all over the place. So apparently, somewhere, sometime, somehow, decided that law enforcement was necessary. And we know that with law enforcement can come problems. Yeah, people can get over officious. People can take advantage of their position of authority because they are, in fact, people, and people can do bad things. So the question remains, what do you do about it? Are there people coming into this country illegally? And yes, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal out there is such a thing as coming into a country illegally. Check with any of the other countries. Go ahead. You're smart. You can do research. You could probably make some phone calls. Check and find out if any other countries in the world, anywhere, communist, free, socialist, whatever, pick one. Ask if they just allow people willy-nilly to come into their country without any vetting process or trying to determine A, if that person is safe, and B, if that person brings anything to the table. Are they going to help our country, or is there potential for harming it? This brings me back to, let's just take Central America as the most immediate issue. Well, these people come here to work hard and they can bring lots to our country and they can do things to help our country. Okay, rocket scientists, if they're so good because they work so hard, then why is their country in the shitter? Have you ever thought about that? How come they haven't helped their country get better? But we're supposed to believe that by allowing them to come here legally or illegally, they're going to help our country. Now, they may help individuals. Look, hell, even I can't prove it, but I've probably had some illegal aliens working on my home and doing some repairs around here. I can't prove otherwise because it's not my job to check their identification. I just have to take the word of the contractor who brought them in here. So there are some who can and do work hard. I get it. That's not everybody. If you believe for 1 second that all those people crossing our border are coming here for a quote unquote better life, you're full of shit. You need to check yourself. This idea that you think because you are a good person, you are a kind and tolerant person, that means everybody else is. Because that's the way I think. So everybody else must be that way, right? But they're not. There are, in fact, evil people in this world. I can't tell you where that evil comes from. Maybe they're born with it. If you're of a religious bent, maybe it's the devil. Whatever it is, there are evil people in this world. And we have a right as a nation, just as you do as a homeowner or a property owner, to keep those people out of your house and off of your property. We as a country have the same right. Now, you can tell me, well, they're not doing a very good job of that so far. Well, maybe we're not. Maybe we could do better. Maybe we need to hire you. Maybe you're the person who's going to fix those problems, right? But there are people coming into our country illegally. That alone makes them a criminal because there are proper methods for coming into a country, even the United States of America. You have to follow the proper procedures, fill out the proper paperwork, ask for permission. Hey, there's a crazy novel idea. If someone knocks on your front door and wants to come into your house, do you just let them in, or do you make them give you a reason? I mean, guys, this isn't that hard to figure out. Now, you can be as compassionate and tolerant and nice to people as you want to be, but at some point, you're going to have to wake up to the reality that not everybody in this world is as sweet and kind and lovable as you are. So, we've got ICE trying to round up illegal aliens. And I'm sure, being humans, they make mistakes once in a while and they grab somebody who is not an illegal alien. Now, the incidences I've heard of where that has happened, and again, this is based on what I've heard, I haven't experienced it myself. Once they determine who you are and see the proper ID, they send you on your way. Now, I know a lot of you, because the media, bastions of honesty and truth that they are, and activists, political activists who have their own agenda, are telling you otherwise. Oh, they're just walking down the street, and if they see a brown person, well, they snatch them up and haul them away. I know you'd like to believe that. I know that would help your agenda. I don't think that's what's happening. But again, I'm not out on the streets. I'm not seeing things through the rose-colored glasses that many of you are. What I know is what I see and what I hear from other people, from various news sources. And when I say various, I mean other than NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, the usual liars. Oh, but Floyd, it's the news. They don't lie. Bullshit. If you think the news media in this country hasn't lied to you on the daily, then you are a fool. You're just, I don't know how else to put it, you're a fucking idiot. They lie to you every day. That's what they do. Now, take that and extrapolate that into your daily life. Do you tolerate liars? Do you allow people to just lie to you to get whatever they want, to convince you of whatever they want you to believe? Is that how you live your life? Are you okay with that? If someone lies to you once, how many more times do they need to lie to you before you stop believing them? I think it's a legitimate question. Maybe you should think about that for a minute. Maybe you should apply it to your own life. And get back to me and let me know how many people in your life you allow to lie to you on a daily basis. Come on, be honest. Be self-reflective. How many people do you allow to do that? And yet, in our country, our media, our government, political activists of all persuasions lie to you because they have agendas. They want to advance those agendas. And in order to do that, they have to convince you that they're telling the truth. And they're not. They're often lying to you. But come on now. You're too smart to allow people to lie to you and deceive you. You're smarter than that, right? You are super smart. And again, because you are nice, because you're loving and kind and tolerant, and you believe all people are perfect and beautiful and wonderful creatures, then everybody else must be, right? Anyway, so why does ICE exist? What is ICE's job? Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Primary among it is to make sure people coming into this country are doing so legally. Look up the word legal, illegal. Now, illegal is a key because you, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal, Mr. and Mrs. Democrat, for the past several years, you have been telling us how no one is above the law. The law must be enforced. Everybody should be obeying the law, right? Come on, don't lie to me now. You know damn well I'm right. You've been spending the past several years telling everybody, oh, no one is above the law. Of course, when you say that, you mean no Republicans are above the law, right? Your people, it's okay because they're lying for a good cause. So they're breaking the law for a good cause. Excuse me. So the only people that are not allowed to lie are anybody who is not a Democrat, Libertarian, Republican, Independent. If you're not a Democrat, you don't get to lie. The Democrats do. So that's cool. So ICE has a function to perform, just like the police in your local area have a function to perform. You want them to enforce the laws because no one is above the law, right? Does that include people who are coming here illegally? I mean, if someone is willing to come into your country illegally, no proper paperwork, no invitation, no asking permission, they've broken the law simply by coming here. Do you think they're not going to break other laws? Or is it just that one time? I'm just going to do it that one time to get into the country, and after that, I'm going to be a perfect American. And therein lies another problem. These people that are coming in here are not coming in to assimilate. Look up the word. I'm sure you probably don't know what it is. They're not coming here to assimilate and become American and provide a benefit to America, to bring something good to America. They're either coming here just to get away from something. They demand fealty from you. You're supposed to change what you believe and what you do to suit them. So explain it to me. Make it make sense. No one's above the law unless you come here illegally, in which case you get a pass. So if all they did, if the only law they broke was coming here to this country, excuse me, to live or to work, and they didn't do it through the proper channels, they've already broken the law. So should they be held accountable? Should that law be enforced? I mean, in every other case, you believe that every other law should be enforced. So should the law about coming here to be in America Notice I didn't say to be an American, because we know from experience, or you should know by now, that many of them are not coming here to be an American. They're taking advantage of being in America. We've heard, we've seen all the money, all the benefits, all the care that they get paid for by you and me, the taxpayers. And again, for the liberals, well, we should take care of people, shouldn't we? Fine. You want to take care of people? Knock yourself out. Pay as much to them as you want. Give as much of your money, your property, your time as you care to. But stop telling me and others that we have to do it too just because you think it's the right thing to do. Who the hell are you? Who are you to decide what we should and shouldn't spend our money on? What we should and should not have our tax money used for? I know we vote for representatives to represent us in elected office, but you seem to think that no, you should do what I say because I'm a good liberal and I care about people. So I know I wasn't elected, I wasn't appointed to anything, but you should do what I say because I think it should be done that way. Well, fuck you. I don't care what you think. I'm not interested in what you think. I don't pay taxes so that you or someone else can decide who to throw my money at. Again, if you care that much, invite them into your house. But we've seen what happens when that happens, haven't we? We've seen the videos. We've seen the conservatives who go out and put up petitions. Would you like to help the poor, the downtrodden, those who are coming here looking for freedom and a better life? Well, sure, I think we should do that. Well, I've got a busload right here. How many people can you take? Oh, well, wait, no, wait a minute. My, that's not what I meant. Yeah. So we see you. You may think we don't, but we see who you are. So if they're caught, if they're here illegally and they are caught, should they or should they not be held accountable? Are they or are they not above the law? Now, I know you people pick and choose who you think should and should not be above the law. I, on the other hand, am one of those crazy people who thinks everyone should be held accountable. Let's, just as a brief example, let's talk about the Epstein file real quick, just to make a point. You guys screaming and hollering, well, I bet Trump's on the list. You should. The reason they're not telling us what it's on the list is because Trump and his friends are on there. Okay, let's go with that. Did or did not the Biden administration have that same file available to them during the last 4 years during Biden's administration? And did the Democrats, or did they not, have a majority or close to a majority in Congress? Could they or could they not have exposed the names on that list if they wanted to? And why didn't they? But now, because Trump's in office, we're supposed to believe, oh, well, we got, they're just hiding it because Trump's on there. Well, if Trump was on there and Biden had the list and Biden knew Trump was on there, don't you think Biden would have jumped all over that? That would have been a great opportunity to get rid of Trump. He wouldn't have run again. He wouldn't have won again if they had exposed that list and gotten rid of Trump to begin with. And frankly, it wouldn't have bothered me at all. I think anybody who's on that list ought to be prosecuted, ought to be held accountable. And I don't care if they're a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian or an independent, white, black, male, female, I don't give a shit. If you fuck kids, you should be held accountable. Are you listening, liberals? Because maybe one of your kids is on the list. Maybe somebody's looking at one of your kids. Is it okay if they do that? Because you don't seem to have a problem with it when somebody else does it. You don't seem to have a problem with Bill Clinton and all his trips to the Epstein Island. So, but he was just there for a vacation. He was just enjoying the pristine scenery. Right. I swear you people are ridiculous. All right. So let's look at some things. I've got some websites pulled up. You can do this too. I know you like to tell us how much you do research. So maybe you should do some. All right. Let's see. What are these illegal aliens doing once they get into this country? Are they becoming hardworking Americans, creating businesses and helping to hire other Americans and provide them with jobs? Or are they doing other illegal stuff? For example, are these illegal aliens helping to traffic in something like fentanyl? How's all that stuff getting in here? How's it getting moved around? Now, I'm sure there are some native born Americans participating in that, no doubt in my mind. But they need runners, they need helpers, they need people who want to make money helping them with that. Do you think illegal aliens might be participating? Just a thought, something to consider. How about, now here's one you'll love, child sex trafficking. Oh, but Floyd, that doesn't happen. That's not going on. Really? Okay. So you want to believe that? That's fine. You go ahead and believe that. In the meantime, let me see if I can find the numbers here. Sorry, I got so many different sites pulled up. The number of children. Now, I've seen as many as 600,000, and of course, the liberals and the media like to make it sound like, oh, it's not nearly that many. But you can look it up. You can find the numbers you feel comfortable with. But have any kids been sex trafficked as a result of illegal aliens snatching them up and sending them other places? Is it even remotely possible that could be happening? And I'm sure, again, there are native born Americans. In fact, we know there are who participate in that trafficking as well. And they should all be hanged from the closest sour apple tree. There's a Southern thing for you. So why don't we do that? Why do you continue to allow that to happen? Just because they're aliens and they're looking for a better life? If it was your kid or someone's kid that you know, would it be okay then? Is it only okay? Is it only tolerable? Is it only worth poo-pooing the idea and say, oh, it's not that many? Is it only worth doing that when it's someone else's kid? Or does your kid have to be involved? Does your kid have to go missing one day before you start paying attention? Before you care? Before you think the law should be enforced? Just curious. Take the time, answer the question, put it in the comment section. Let me hear what you think. It's like now we have a new governor here in Virginia. Oh, Lord, help us, please. Who thinks it's okay for boys who want to pretend to be girls, even though they still have their manhood. Oh, okay, I'll just say it. Even though they still have their penis, to say, well, I identify as a woman. Okay, well, you can come on in. Come on into the girls' locker room. Join the girls' team. Well, our new governor has, what is it, 3 daughters? Correct me if I'm wrong. Help me out here. I know she has at least 1 or 2. 3 daughters. She thinks it's okay for boys who identify as girls to be in girls' locker rooms. As long as they play the game. Well, I identify as a girl. Okay. Well, if we saw it happen in Northern Virginia, so don't act like this doesn't or can't happen. If one of her girls gets raped or fondled or exposed by a naked boy who decides he's going to use that I identify as a girl shtick to get into the locker room, is it going to matter then? Is it going to be important then? Should the law be enforced then? So, I mean, you got to make up your mind, folks. At some point, this stuff is going to come back on you, and you're going to have to deal with it, just like you expect everyone else to deal with it. Now, I'm going to apologize now for the length of this video because I don't have a podcast. So maybe one of you knows how to do that and would like to help me. But so sometimes I might get a little long-winded trying to make a point on these things. All right. So under the Global Statistics website, illegal immigrants crime statistics in the U.S. So illegal immigrant crime statistics in the U.S. 2025. So this is going back to last year. And just as some examples, violent crime convictions. Now, this under that it says value. So I'm not really sure what they mean by value, but violent crime convictions, 469 under value. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I'll post this under the video and you can look it up yourself and see if you can figure it out. But here's the point I'd like to make about the crimes. Okay? Now, you liberals, stick with me here because you know you do it. When it comes to guns, as an example. Well, if we banish guns, just like we banned drugs, remember? I remember when you couldn't smoke marijuana in this country. You couldn't even possess marijuana. Anybody else remember? Show of hands. Now, I have liberals in my family who would tell you, oh, it's okay to smoke pot. In fact, I'm growing my own. In fact, I'm in advanced age and I still get my hands on it, even though it's illegal. Even though it's against the law, even though I think all other laws ought to be enforced and no one is above the law, I'm still getting my hands on marijuana because I like smoking it. So, when it comes to guns, if we ban guns and it saves just one life, it's worth it, right? Come on. You know you've said it. I've seen it. I've read it. I've heard it. A lot of you out there have as well. If it only saves one life, it's worth it. Okay. Well, if we only ban one illegal alien, and that illegal alien was going to kidnap a 5-year-old and sex traffic them, but now they won't be able to because we kept them out, isn't it worth it? Or they got in and we were able to catch them and deport them before they were able to kidnap and sell on the market that 5-year-old. Wouldn't it be worth it? Why does that only apply to guns? Guns, by the way, which are owned by law-abiding citizens, not the criminals. We're not talking about the guys robbing banks or selling drugs and shooting up somebody because a drug deal went wrong. No. We're talking about law-abiding citizens. It's like the gun-free zones. Criminals don't give a shit. Do you think they care about the gun-free zone signs? No. You or I do, because neither one of us wants to go to jail. We don't see jail as an occupational hazard. We're not interested in proving, oh, I'm a tough guy. I'm street smart. I don't care about the man. I'll go to jail. So what? No, that's not us. We have families. We have jobs. We have reasons for not wanting to go to jail. We're not criminals. So we listen to the laws. We obey the signs. We don't carry our guns somewhere where maybe we'll find out later we wish we had carried it, because we obey the laws. and no one is above the law. Oh, heaven forbid we actually hold the people using the guns to commit crimes accountable. In fact, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal, how many times in these blue states with blue prosecutors do we see that the first law in many of these crimes that they're caught for, the first law they drop is the gun possession law? Oh well, we'll work with them. We'll cut them a little bit of slack here. We'll just drop the gun possession charge and move on to something else. Really? That is so. It's so important that everybody give up their guns because they're dangerous. But if we catch a guy who actually robbed a bank or shot a fellow drug dealer, the first thing we're going to drop is the gun possession charge. You can look this stuff up. It's out there. The news is out there. The stats are out there. You just choose to ignore statistics and news that doesn't fit your agenda, don't you? Of course you do. We've seen you. Now, back to ICE. Can ICE be abusive? Can law enforcement in general be abusive? Yes, I have spoken on that numerous times in the past. In fact, by speaking on that, I've had a lot of conservative friends call me a liberal. Imagine calling me a liberal. Because I said, well, when it comes to law enforcement, the police have certain standards they need to be held to. Same thing goes for ICE. However, let me also point out, and I've done law enforcement work of different sorts. If someone is fighting me, spitting on me, throwing things at me, trying to hurt me, I am going to use whatever force I need necessary to stop them. I have participated, as many of you have, I have participated in protests. I have spoken my word. I have voiced my opinion. I have been on the street holding signs. I don't remember ever chanting any slogans. I'm not much for that. But I have held my signs. I have waved them around. I have been at protests at the state capitol, on the street in Richmond, in different areas. But you know what I never did? And maybe it's because I'm white. Yeah, that's what it is. That's why the police didn't beat my ass, because I'm not black, right? You know what I didn't do? I didn't throw anything at the police. I didn't get in front of their cars and challenge them not to move. I didn't threaten them. I didn't throw things at them. I didn't spit on them. That's why I didn't get my ass kicked. That's why I didn't get shot. That's why I didn't get arrested, because I protested peacefully. You might try it sometime. You'd be amazed. If you don't fuck with people, they won't fuck with you. How's that sound? Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Yeah, let's put it in street lingo so maybe some of you will understand it. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. But you don't stand in front of cars and beat the hood, throw things and crack the windows, beat on it with a stick. You don't spit on people and think that they're not going to come back at you. Human nature, people. I don't care if you got a badge on or not. And I can speak for me personally. You spit on me, you better. I hope you're tired of your teeth. There's a lot of shit I wanted to put up with. You can call me every kind of son of a bitch you want to, but you spit on me, it's on. Throwing bricks, throwing rocks. I've seen what happens if you hit someone in the head with a brick. Have you? Would you like me to throw a brick at your head? Well, come on now. It's no big deal. I'm just protesting. I'm just expressing my view. Okay, cool. Stand still. Let me throw a brick at your head. Let's see what happens. See how that turns out for you. So when you do that shit to ICE or any police officer or any law enforcement of any kind, and you think that guys who are carrying clubs and guns aren't going to fight back, you're an idiot. In fact, you're so stupid, you get what you deserve. We should get you out of the gene pool if you're that damn dumb. Now, you want to make a sign, a flag, some other means of expressing your viewpoint, getting it across to as many people as possible, and you're going to stand on a corner in public property, not private, not going into a church that is private property. If you're on public property and you're peacefully expressing your viewpoints, even if it's singing a song, it may be a horrible song, it may be obnoxious as shit, but you're not hurting anybody, you're not being violent. Go ahead. You have that right. I'll participate with you. I've been there. I've done it too. But again, I didn't get arrested because I didn't try to hurt somebody while I was doing it. So, should we have ICE? Well, that's a good question. You and I can talk about that because, again, we get back to 9/11, and this was under the Bush administration. We got Department of Homeland Security, another government agency. They developed ICE, another government agency. And we've got the Patriot Act, more government intrusion into our private lives. And all that was by Republicans, by the way. So all my Republican/conservative friends out there, just remember that a lot of the stuff you're complaining about now that you don't like when it comes to things like the Patriot Act and the fact that the FBI or other law enforcement can spy on you without due process, that came from your Republican side. So, yeah, I have a problem with that too. So there's a lot of that going on. And it's all wrong. Do we need another government agency? Or would it be enough that the ones we did have were doing their jobs properly? Let's go back to 9/11. The reason we have the Department of Homeland Security, and many of you remember this, so don't act like you don't, Republicans, Democrats, conservative, liberals, whatever. We were told, well, a lot of the different agencies, the CIA, the National Security Agency, all these different law enforcement agencies had various pieces and bits of information, but they weren't able to put the whole puzzle together because they weren't sharing information. Yeah, you've seen the TV shows, right? And they love to show this interagency rivalry shit. I'm a New York City cop. Well, I'm FBI. Well, this is my territory. No, but we're FBI. We get to make the decision here and blah, blah. And so they weren't sharing information. Everybody wanted to get credit for being the ones who ultimately solved the problem, but nobody solved anything because they weren't coalescing. They weren't bringing the information together and sharing it and learning from it. So how do you fix that? Rather than say, well, Mr. FBI, Mr. CIA, Mr. NSA, you need to do your job better, or we're going to find someone else to do it. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to create another agency and all the money that we need for that. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Taxpayer. Yeah, we need more government. We need more agencies. Or we could step back and say, well, who's responsible for this in the first place? Who was not doing their job? Who do we need to get rid of? Kind of like now. We have an FBI who, they make great sound bites, don't they? Anybody been arrested yet? Anybody going to jail? Anybody being charged with anything? They make great speeches. It's great for money raising for the next election, but nobody's being held accountable. So it doesn't matter whether it's Democrats or Republicans in charge, nothing's getting done. They go back and forth at each other. It's like watching, World Wrestling Association on TV. Well, let me tell you, brother, and I'm going to kick your ass. And then after the show's over, hey, you want to go get a beer? And you keep falling for it. Everybody does. There are some of you on my friends list, and I know who you are, who know it's all bullshit. That both of them are full of crap. Neither side gives a shit about you. If you think they do, you are delusional. They don't care. But we keep putting up with it because it's my side. My side's a good side. Well, your side screwed you too. Patriot Act came from your side. Democrats, think about who it is you're supporting, whether it's in Minnesota, Los Angeles, New York. Think about who you are supporting. These are people who participate in drug running, sex trafficking. Aside from the fact that they're here illegally, that alone should get them sent back. Think of all the crimes. Look it up. I'm going to post it in the comments after this video. But you can do your own research. You don't have to look at the stuff I post. Look at the crimes that illegal aliens are involved in. And I'll remind you once again. But if we only stop one crime, if we only save one life, then it's worth it, right? I mean, that's your philosophy when it comes to guns. So let's extrapolate that out further. If we only save one life from a vehicle death because of a drunk driver, then it's worth it to take cars away from everybody, right? It's worth it to take alcohol away from everybody. We shouldn't let people drink alcohol or do any kind of drugs. We'll just outlaw it. We'll make it against the law to drink alcohol. Well, we tried that once. How'd that work out for us? But people are going to drink anyway. Fine. Take cars away. Don't let them have a car. If you only save one life, it's worth it. Come on, guys. At some point, you're going to have to put the political agenda aside and actually think. I know it's tough. I know it can be very difficult. And it's an ongoing effort. It's not like what you think one day is going to be the same another day. Thinking is ever evolving. But you have to be willing to. You can't do it if you don't even try. If you're so wrapped up in your own political agenda that you're not willing to see what's going on around you, you're not willing to accept that, well, maybe that person I've been supporting is a bad person. I mean, what other kind of person kidnaps a 5-year-old to sell them to somebody to use for sex? Is that a good person? Is that the kind of person you want to be associated with? Is that the kind of person you want to support? I mean, come on, guys, you got to think about it. It's there. At some point, you're just going to have to think this through. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest, get it out of my system. Because like I said, there are times when I think I need to get the duct tape out and wrap my head in it before my head explodes, trying to think about all this stupid shit that people do and say. So, should we have law enforcement? Yes, we should have law enforcement. Should that law enforcement be held to a higher standard of behavior and to the law? Yes, absolutely. I've seen videos in the past, and you've probably seen them too, where a police officer will have some guy handcuffed have him sitting on the sidewalk where they're interviewing some other people, and the guy's just cussing a blue streak, calling him everything but a child of God. And finally, the officer's had enough, and he just reaches over and kicks him in his head, sitting there handcuffed. And I'm thinking, well, all right, I understand the urge to do that, but your job, Mr. Police Officer, is to arrest them, not to mete out street justice at the moment. It's tempting. Trust me, I understand. But you have to be willing to step back and go, nope, not going to do that. He's under arrest. I've got him handcuffed. He's not going anywhere. He can call me whatever he wants to call me. So, yes, police need to be held to a higher standard. I get it. I understand it. I agree with it. But when they are out there doing their job, when they are enforcing the laws, by the way, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal, which you demand everyone be held accountable to, and somebody's throwing shit at you and somebody's trying to hurt you, somebody's maybe even getting ready to pull a gun on you, are you supposed to just stand there and wait until they shoot you before you respond? If somebody's got a brick or a rock or some other heavy object and they're getting ready to throw it at you, are you supposed to just stand there and let it hit you? So you, Mr. and Mrs. America, you, Mr. and Mrs. Protester, you have a responsibility too, and that is not to try to hurt other people, whether they're law enforcement or not. You want to protest? Protest. I've done it. I'll probably do it again, even at my advanced age. But what I don't do is I don't try to harm people. That's not why I'm out there. I'm out there to get a point across. I'm out there to get my message out there. And there are ways of doing that without throwing rocks, without spitting on people, without trying to hurt people. So think it through. Anyway, I think that's enough for this video for today. And as I've said in the past, if you don't understand my point by now, then you're just too stupid to understand it, and I'm wasting my time with you. To my other friends out there, feel free to share the video if you want to. There are people who you may think need to see it. That's fine. Leave me some comments if you feel like you need to speak out on it. To anyone else out there, maybe some of you computer nerds who understand how this stuff works, if you could help me with a podcast of some sort, so I could have a regular method for venting. Yeah, get in touch with me. Let me know. Maybe you can help me with that. Anyway, that'll do for now. Stay inside, stay warm, and I'll talk to you later.